Hey everyone, it's Marabelle Blue here with another KEM Top Talk reality TV short on The Bachelor. I know I am way overdue. I'm talking about I've missed like 4 episodes of updating you. So I made some index cards here, as you can see, with all of my notes. Now, I can't promise you that I will be able to go through these 3 index cards, so this might be a 3-part episode, only because sometimes uploading to YouTube takes a little longer when the video is very long, so I don't want that to happen. So let's get started without wasting any time on the Bachelor highlights of the January 28th episode and what I thought of that episode. The first one-on-one date Sean had was with Selma. Now, if you're following The Bachelor, Selma is the girl who was born in Baghdad, and of course she's all filled with that crazy. I shouldn't say that crazy religion, but some parts of it is not kosher, if you can understand what I mean. There are just certain aspects of religion that get in the way of what defines a relationship. Now, for some people, religion will define their relationship, and that's all well and good. But if you're going to be going on national TV and you're talking about, I can't kiss because it will put my family to shame, I have to ask, what the fuck are you doing there in the first place? If your religion is that fucking important to you, you wouldn't be on the show. Clearly, I guess her priorities are somewhere else. But they did go on a one-on-one date. They stared at each other because, they couldn't kiss. And he still ended up giving her the rose anyway. Now, on the group date was a roller derby date. And I have to tell you, this was a complete fucking disaster. I'm not sure who designs these group dates, why they feel that they have to go through some kind of weird extremities that people actually get hurt. One of the women on the group date was Sarah, and Sarah was born with one arm. She has a half of it cuts off to her elbow. Now, seriously, do you expect this poor woman to be playing a sport that's very rough, and she really doesn't have 2 arms to defend herself? I thought it was completely unfair. It was absolutely ridiculous. And then Amanda, she was showing off because apparently this girl's like the jack of all trades. She's a model. She can do this. She can do that. Now she can roller derby. And she's all over the place, showing her ass off. And then she falls and hits under her chin. Even just thinking about it right now makes me nauseous, because it's like you're willing to make that much of a fool out of yourself for a man, on TV no less. Okay. I felt sorry for Sarah because she did cry about her limitations on what she could do, having the one arm. I didn't feel bad for Amanda because, when you become like a show-off, you get exactly what you deserve. And, of course, Tiara complained and cried. It's like, for the last several weeks, I've been watching a variety of different shows. Today, Anderson Cooper had made a comment about Tiara and how she is and her attitude, which really sucks. And Anderson Cooper feels that the whole thing is fake. Be it as it may, there are people that do come out of this being married and having a family. I think that the majority of the people that are in this bachelorette family end up just screwing around with all of their little community buddies. This was the reason why I said, him and Casey were together. Now, I don't think that they slept together, but clearly they hung out. There wasn't any details on what transpired in that relationship, but apparently they knew each other before she came on the show. So, I don't know. But anyway, Leslie had, well, before I get into Leslie, I guess I was talking about, yeah, I was talking about the whole Tiara scene and Anderson Cooper saying that he thinks that The Bachelor's fake, and he's entitled to his opinion. If that's the way he feels, that's the way he feels. But the bottom line is you can't dispute that there are some people that have gotten married and that have real relationships. It's just that the majority of them don't. And it's funny, if you are familiar with Travis Stork, he's in that TV show called The Doctors that airs on CBS in the mornings. He was one of the bachelors. And if you notice, he seems like he doesn't want to be associated. I don't even know if he goes to any of the events that they have or if he's associated with them whatsoever. But I hate when there's like these little mosquitoes that are flying around. So it's apparent that he has no interest in being a part of anything that they do. He had his moment with The Bachelor. He's moved on. He never got with the girl that he ended up choosing at the end, which I thought was a very poor choice. But again, you know, I'm not there, and I'm only getting for what they're showing me on TV. So getting back to this present day of The Bachelor with Sean Lowe. Now, Leslie H., she was the other very beautiful, I thought she was, black woman that was there. Again, like I said before, this was the first Bachelor season where you actually saw more than one black woman. There were actually 4. And in this episode, there were 2 left. There was Robin and there was Leslie H. Now, Leslie H. was very, very beautiful, very curvaceous. She had this pretty woman date. He got her the diamond earrings that she was able to keep. He took her out to Rodeo Drive. She was able to pick all of these dresses, and he took her out to dinner. Now, here's something that I noticed that can probably be a little bit annoying, except for those who are very big comic book fans. Holy moly. Holy Batman. Everything had like a holy moly or holy Batman, something pertaining to the comics. Now, while this may be a turn on for some people who are very much into Batman and, you know, the whole lingo and language or whatever, I think after a while it could become very annoying. I know it was annoying me after a while. But she's smart, she's intelligent, she's classy, and while she's busy talking, Sean is kind of like in this zone where he's like, he's listening, but he's not present. He's not there. And I think what was, for me, what was really fucked up is that he picks up the rose on their dinner. He picks up the rose and he begins with this grandiose speech and then tells her, you know, I'm sitting here waiting for it to click and it's not clicking for me. And he sends her ass home. Oh, lest I forget that while they were going through their whole pretty woman phases and, you know, the diamond earrings and the dress, they went to Neil Lane and she had like this big necklace on and, you know, she was like, oh, I got to give the necklace back. Yeah, well, of course you do because that shit is alone and ain't nobody that special in The Bachelor where you're going to get like a $500,000 necklace or whatever how much it was worth. So she gave the necklace back and she drove away in the limo. It was funny because she was real quiet in the limo for the longest of time. And I'm glad that she did not fall apart like, you know, most of the other women did. She did cry, but she cried more for the one-on-one time than she did for the, you know, when she was sent home. Sit down already. Sorry, I don't know who's more dramatic, my dog or Tiara. I hate fidgetness. I hate when people like are constantly moving instead of just sitting still. But that's my own shit. So, getting back to my notes over here. So, yes, he said, here are my notes. He said he didn't feel a connection. What's fucked up is that before he rejects her, he picks up the rose and gives her this reaction that he was going to give her the rose. But basically, he just told her to fuck off. This is me writing my notes. What made it more fucked up was that when he was walking back, Ben Taylor was supposed to sing for them, and he just went and started singing. And it's like, okay, that's like really weird. A concert for one, please. So here we are to the rose ceremony. Robin, who is the only black young lady left, she is holding a chocolate and offers him a chocolate kiss or a chocolate kiss, and they end up kissing. Ashley, now I don't know if you know the story behind Ashley. She was abandoned as a child. She's a personal organizer. It kind of, you see like the abandonment issues and then trying to fix it up. I mean, she has this odd career that I never heard of, a personal organizer. I think that's what it is. And she just seems really needy and codependent. Like, you just see her changing into a person. You'll see later on down the line, the more I talk about it, that she just seems a little different. She starts doing like really strange things. Tiara, constantly complaining, and, Sean is buying into her bullshit. And then I wrote, and here's a question that maybe guys should think about, or maybe if women know the answer to this. How does any guy buy into such BS? The girl is constantly crying. You tell me what man on this earth would tolerate such fucking bullshit. I don't understand that. I have a lot of male friends, and they will all tell me the same thing. Any drama queen, any high-maintenance woman, they want nothing to do with. And I don't blame them, because you know what? I don't want a dramatic man. I don't want a man who's jealous or possessive. I am not the one. So I cannot understand in this scenario where everybody is such in close quarters, how could you not get tired of the fucking crying and the bullshit that this girl constantly turns around and gives? And then she's fighting with the other girls. Oh, well, they want to be like me, and they're jealous of me, and I got the first rose. It's like, you know what, Tiara? Fuck you. While everybody can understand and relate about drama and jealousy and haters or whatever, it's like you are a good reason, a good example as to why people would dislike you and your ways. I have no sympathy for her whatsoever. Okay, now, getting back towards the end of this episode. Now you see, Sean is now getting together with, women that were a lot on group dates. Now you see him like getting to know it's like I got stuck. You see him getting to know them more. And Catherine is one of those women that he is actually starting to spend a little bit more time with. And he just seems really different with her. He's very giggly. It's almost as if when they're together, like there's nobody else around. And I really don't see him like that with anybody else. Well, he seems to be lusting after the other women. There's just something different going on with Catherine than I see with the other women. Now, at the end of this episode, the roses that were handed out were Catherine, Desiree, Lindsay. She was the crazy girl with the wedding dress, and she's not really crazy, but it's like, why would you walk in with a wedding dress? Robin, Ashley, Sarah, Jackie, and Daniela. And the two women that went home, of course, was Leslie H., that I had mentioned earlier, and Amanda, who busted her chin at the roller derby. So there you go. Busting your ass doesn't get you a man. And it's 15 minutes, so I will leave it at that for the 128 episode. And now I will do the 2-4 and 2-5 episode as soon as I end this video.